What's going on, people? Welcome back to our Arsenal transfer news, a video update. Now, Rodrigo, then. What is going on with the situation? As we know, it's a very interesting saga going on at Real Madrid for his future. Um, we don't know whether he's going to stay at Real Madrid or leave. At the moment, Arsenal are still very, very determined to get a deal done for Rodrigo. As we know, he's one of Arsenal's main priority throughout the summer, and he's going to be Arsenal's main target throughout the summer as well as getting that main striker as well. But we're gonna all cover today. Before you do so, make sure you leave your thoughts down below on Rodrigo situation, and also make sure you smash that button on the video. It'd be greatly appreciated. Thank you guys so much all for the support shown on the channel. It's been absolutely so heartwarming for me seeing everyone tune in and leave your support, leave your comments. It really does mean a lot as we're on the road now to 12,000 subscribers. So let's get into the news today. Coming today by, of course, the Athletic, very, very reliable as we know. And they say that Arsenal were convinced they could offer Rodrigo a sporting project where he could be at ease, playing at the left wing with freedom. The Gunners are now prepared to wait to determine Rodrigo's situation, but are mindful that they cannot wait indefinitely. So, um, obviously, that we can't wait forever. Basically, it will come a point where we're gonna have to make that decision in terms of moving on from Rodrigo, if that is going to be the case. But listen, as it says there, Arsenal are very convinced that they can get this all done if he does decide to leave Real Madrid. So the current situation with Rodrigo is that the only way he's going to be leaving Real Madrid is down to him as a player. He's been having a few meetings with Javi Alonso, as we know. He's been played in the Club World Cup. I know he's been benched in the past two games in the Club World Cup, but maybe that is just to try new things out. Alonso changed formation, didn't he, and played Guller there instead. Um, and yeah, that's the only way he's actually going to leave Real Madrid is he has to come out and say to Real Madrid, knock on their door and say, whoever it is, Florentino Perez, he's got to say to him, knock on his door and say, I want to leave, basically. I want to leave Real Madrid. That is the only way they still will open doors for a potential move to Arsenal. And it's still a bit up in the air. We don't really know his decision as of yet. One thing I will say is we know that his natural position is on the left wing. I know he's been happy playing at Real Madrid on the right, and that's where you see him the most time. He's done his thing on the right. But could he be convinced by a move to Arsenal, Premier League, week in, week out, playing in his natural position on the left wing? Could this convince him to maybe leave? And I think you look at the players around him as well, the competition around him at Real Madrid. We know how stacked it is, in terms of how many positions they have there in their attack. And that's the big thing for Rodrigo is maybe he'll look at it in terms of the whole game time side of things. Is he going to get enough game time at Real Madrid next season? And if he's not, then he may decide, what, maybe it's time for something different. Maybe it's time for something new. He's been there for quite a few years now. He's been a big player for them. He's been very successful at Real Madrid already. I think he's won everything that there is to win. Champions League, as we know, La Ligas, like everything there is to win, he's won it already. So is he going to want to change in his sort of career? Is he going to want a new challenge? And is also going to be the ideal destination for him? We also, in terms of the price, we understand it looks like it's going to be some reports in Spain saying that they'll demand at least £77 million for Rodrigo. Obviously, he's been linked with Arsenal. It's between that and they call like a fixed fee of 77 million and 100 million as well. 100 million euros, which is 85 million pounds, or a bit less than that. We can sort of get a deal done for 77 million. That's what it's going to take to obviously sign Rodrigo if he was to leave. But one thing is to be certain, it's down to the player. If he opens the doors to exit, then this is where the whole situation will liven up. We will not be the only team in for him, though. That's what this one thing I will say. We'll not be the only team in for Rodrigo. I feel like Man City may be there as well. It's Rodrigo. There's going to be many clubs in for him. But what we've been hearing is Arsenal are properly certain that they can get this deal done. They're so confident. I'm sure Andrea Berta is so confident that he can get this deal done over any other club as well. And it looks like we're going to be willing to spend big on Rodrigo if he does decide to leave Real Madrid. So it's going to be a very interesting situation to keep an eye on. I know there's been a lot of dilemma going around about Eze or Rodrygo. Listen, Eze will be a brilliant option. He really would, instead of Rodrigo. And I wouldn't mind if we did settle with Eze. I spoke about Eze the other day, guys. Eze for me is top class, but Rodrigo's always been our main priority. He's always been that number one target for fans, for Arteta. It seems like for the club itself. This is a top. This is why we move to Emirates to attract these players. This is why we have Champions League football, as they say, to attract these world-class players, which is Rodrygo. It's as simple as that, really. Rodrygo on the left-hand side completely takes us to the next level. It's that level raiser, that game changer that Arsenal Football Club's been missing. You know, a player who can just, you know, grab a game by the scruff of the neck, who change a game. We've seen it so many times at Real Madrid. We saw him in the Champions League, that off the bench, or I can't remember if he was off the bench or starting the game. Even so, that game against Man City proved it perfectly. Big game player, you know, and he's a player that excites you as well. I don't think we've had that at Arsenal probably since Alexis Sanchez, in my honest opinion, where we, you know, every time a player got the ball, the fans just on the edge of their seat. You know, what's going to happen? You know, what's he going to do? It gives you that excitement about it. The stadium lifts every time he gets the ball. He's that type of player, really. Maybe we have that in terms of Saka, but when you have Saka being targeted 3 players every single game, it's very, very hard for him to really showcase his ability in terms of that, you know, sort of getting the ball, driving with it, and then getting you on the edge of the seat, because he gets so. A lot of teams mark him out of the game and see him as a target in terms of to stop Saka, you stop Arsenal's real threat. Whereas if you have Rodrigo on the left-hand side, it becomes, and then the new striker up front as well, it becomes an absolute nightmare for the other defenders, you know, in Premier League. So, yeah, Rodrigo for me is an absolute no-brainer, but it's all about, I'm still 50-50. He may sit there and say, new manager, Alonso's going to come in, new ideas, new system, it seems like, for Real Madrid. He may be happy at Real Madrid, you know. He went to the Club World Cup. He started the first game. He came off the bench, I think, or I mean, he was on the bench anyway for the past. But I don't look into that too much. He saw the selected for the Club World Cup. He played that. Is he really going to leave? But we don't know how he thinks. We don't know the mind of Rodrigo. It seems like Real Madrid are happy to keep him. And why wouldn't they? It's Rodrigo. But if he does become available, this is where the situation will actually develop and really liven up. And I believe that we can get ahead of other teams to sign Rodrigo for sure. So, yeah, love to hear you guys' thoughts on this. But if we can't get Rodrigo, I think the alternative for me, there's only one alternative. It's got to be Eze for me. I know Eze is more attacking midfielder, more of a, plays sort of like that number 10 sort of role. But he can play on the left-hand side as well, and he would be my alternative for Rodrigo. If we can't get Rodrigo, go and pay the money, for Eze, already in the Premier League. Spoke about him before. But it's some exciting news in terms of the winner situation at Arsenal. I think Rodrigo at the moment it's just a dream. It's just a dream at the moment. He's the best of the best out there, in my opinion. You talk about attackers and you talk about left winners. Realistically, in terms of who's out there right now that we can attract, and I'm not talking about PSG winners, because why would they want to leave PSG? You think about Dembele, you think about Desadoue, even Barcola is going to stay at PSG now. They're not going to come. Kvaratskhelia is not. He's just, PSG, no chance. Barcelona, Rafinha is going to stay. Lamine Yamal is going to say we can't get Nico Williams out there. So you look anywhere else, and the best of the best available if he does leave, which is it could be a possibility. 50, I say 50-50. 50% chance that he could leave or he could stay. Rodrigo is the best of the best out there right now, people. It's an absolute no-brainer. Make sure you leave your thoughts down below about this. Get your comments in down below, guys. Make sure to do me a favor if you can hit the like button on the video. And if you are new, make sure you do subscribe, as you're on the road to 12,000 subscribers. Do daily Arsenal content here every single day to not miss any new news, any new updates. We're going to be here every single day throughout the whole season as well. Watch-alongs, match reactions, previews, everything like that's coming. Match day vlogs. I'm going to try and go to as many games as possible next season. We've got everything covered for you people. We're going to try get this channel up there, and it's all thanks to you guys as well. Thanks all for all the support. Bless up everyone, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow for another update. As always, come on, you guys.